Hello folks, my name is Mark, this is Why I Hate the World. How you guys doing? So, I got a comment from a guy named Friendly Fascist a couple of videos ago, and I made a statement to the effect of about how we import labor in this country, and not just for the cheap labor, for the car washing and the domestic labor jobs and stuff like that, but also the expensive labor as well, programmers and that kind of thing, engineers, that kind of thing. And he made a statement, he basically replied saying something to the effect of, these people come here to undercut American workers, and they drive wages down. And that's not true at all. All right, that's really not true at all. First off, with the low paid jobs, we do have a lot of illegal, immigrants that come and take low paying jobs, right? That's just a fact. Things like, for example, something like 90% of all of the labor involved in meat packing, slaughterhouses, meat packing, things like that in the country are all illegal immigrants, right? 70% of all domestic help in the country is also illegal, immigrants as well. Housekeepers, gardeners, janitors, that kind of thing, right? And that's a big problem, right? But these people don't drive wages down at all, because these jobs don't have, very high wages to begin with. Right. So, see, all the conservatives and the alt-right and libertarians and shit like that, they make it sound like if all of these, like, pesky immigrants were just, gone, if we could just build a giant wall around the entire country, right, then somehow, the demand for these jobs would go up, right, and, we'd be able to raise wages on them, and everybody that they'd suddenly need people to fill all these positions, and then like normal citizens and white people and shit could go get these jobs, and they would pay $20 an hour because you wouldn't have enough people to fill them. That's bullshit. That's not true at all. Okay, these jobs pay what they pay because they're shitty. All right, these are crap jobs to begin with that nobody wants, and we don't have enough people to fill them. All right, and that's why these people are here, and these people come here and they take those kinds of jobs because they can make more money in this country bussing tables or packing, working in a slaughterhouse than they can with a degree back in their own countries. Now, I've mentioned this in one of my previous videos. I used to correspond with a guy online who was a fucking college professor in Chile, I think it was, or Argentina, one of those countries in South America. I can't remember. This was like 15 years ago. And anyway, back in the day, this guy made somewhere in the effect of $700 a month American, right? That's how much he made. He was a college professor, right? I worked at Starbucks at that time. This was like 2001, right? I worked at a fucking Starbucks, right? I made twice what this guy made. All right. It's a joke. Okay. They barely make enough money to survive, and he told me something that like his rent was $500 a month. And I was like, God damn, how do you live? So that's why they come here. They come here because you can get a job at a car wash for minimum wage, right? And you can make, twice as much as what a fucking college professor makes back in the home country, right? But, there is really no truth to, it's not like if they were all gone, then, the people at the car wash would have to pay, $21 an hour in order to fill that position. No, not at all, all right? That it would still be minimum wage, okay? And now, are you going to, is there evidence that these people get paid less than the minimum wage, Is that the case? Are you saying that, let's say, a meatpacking plant is paying people less than the minimum wage per hour? Because if that's the case, that's illegal, right? And if you have evidence of that happening, you should call the police and get that place closed down. As a matter of fact, you should get the place closed down anyway, because let's not forget that it's illegal to hire illegal immigrants, right? See, everybody blames the legal alien, the illegal immigrants for coming and stealing your job, right? You know, like they're gonna jump out of the bushes and just grab you and beat your ass and take your job from you. That's bullshit, okay? You should be blaming the people that hire these people, right? Don't hate the player, hate the game, okay? Blame the fucking the domestic fucking cleaning company that hires illegal aliens. Blame the car wash that hires or illegal immigrants. Sorry, blame them. Blame the car wash that is using undocumented labor. Blame the fucking meatpacking plant that's hiring people without doing background checks on them, right? And blame the fucking the fucking regulators who aren't doing anything about it, all right? But don't blame the fucking people, okay? Because they come here to work because they need money, and if the roles were reversed, you'd be doing the exact same fucking thing. Don't even say you wouldn't be, because you would be, all right? If you could get a degree here, right? But if you could, like, make 3 times what your degree was in Mexico working at a fucking Burger King, then you'd be in Mexico, right, deep frying fucking chicken fingers and shit. So don't even say you wouldn't, because you would. Okay. Secondly, when it talks about when we're going to talk about expensive labor is how I put it. These are people that come over on the H-5A visa, which is the Essential Workers Program, right? For those of you who don't know what the H-5 visa is, that's basically what allows people to come to the country who are like, how it works is you have to have proof of employment before you can come. So a company has to be interested in you. And as long as you're employed, that visa gets renewed. And if you lose your job, you have an X number of days to get a new job before that visa goes away, and then you got to go back, right? That's a lot of computer programmers come over on that, engineers, database managers and things like that. A lot of tech companies hire people that have, that come over on this kind of visa, right? And, I can tell you from personal experience, these people don't drive down wages. That is not true at all. They come here, they get paid basically what the market rate is. So for anybody who's never worked in a, that kind of environment, an office sort of tech thing, right? These are jobs that they're not dictating to you what the wage is. Right. It's not like when you go get a job at McDonald's and you fill out a job application and then the manager goes, it pays minimum wage and, or whatever, right? It's not like that. The way this works is that, if they want you, they will negotiate a salary with you. They'll make you an offer is what they'll do, All right, this pays, $70,000 a year plus benefits or whatever, medical and dental and blah, 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 right? And then ideally, you want to get more than one company interested in you, right? And then you get a sort of a bidding war going. And then you go, well, company B over here wants to give me $90,000 a year plus, benefits and stock options and blah, 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 blah. And then company A has to do a counter offer, right? And that's usually how the shit works. And if they want you bad enough and if they can, if they can afford what you are asking for in their budgets and that kind of thing, then they'll take you, right? And that's, so this is not, there's nobody coming from fucking India going, oh, well, I'll do it for, $3 a year and shit, like 3 cents an hour. No, that's not true at all, okay? Those guys come here, they do the exact same thing, and they get as much as, because that's the name of the game is, you get what you negotiate for. They do the exact same thing. They get paid the same amount, right? I can tell you from personal experience, in several companies I've worked for. And not just the guys at the bottom. The guys at the top were here on that visa as well. My old boss was one of those. I mean, it's not true at all saying that these guys drive down wages. There's no truth to that. Absolutely not. Okay. Now, there is truth to the idea of outsourcing driving down wages. That there is a little bit to that, but those are not illegal immigrants. All right, that's actually a different subject. It's related, but it's not the same thing, you know. And I would even say that outsourcing really doesn't save you very much money because of lots of different factors, you know. In the end, I mean, I've actually worked with several offshore teams in India, and ultimately, it's a balance. You know, you get what you pay for essentially, but that's a subject for a different video. But when it comes to immigrants driving down wages in the country, not really. Not from what I found. You know, it's hard to make that. You could make that argument 100 years ago, right? It's hard to make that argument today. Anyway, that's all I got, folks. Adios.